Chapter 8.7, the cost of home ownership. The biggest single purchase that most people make in their lives is the purchase of a home. If you choose home ownership at some point in the future, it is likely that you'll finance the purchase with an installment loan. Knowing the unique issues surrounding the purchase of a home and whether or not this aspect of the American dream is right for you can play a significant role in your financial future. A mortgage is a long-term installment loan for the purpose of buying a home, and for which the property is pledged as security for payment. The down payment is the portion of the sale price of the home that the buyer initially pays to the seller. The minimum required down payment is computed as a percentage of the sale price. The amount of the mortgage is the difference between the sale price and the down payment. Monthly payments for a mortgage depend on the amount of the mortgage, which is the principal, the interest rate, and the duration of the mortgage. Mortgages can have a fixed interest rate or a variable interest rate. Fixed rate mortgages have the same monthly principal and interest payment during the entire life of the loan. A loan like this that has a schedule for paying a fixed amount each period is called a fixed installment loan. Variable rate mortgages, also known as adjustable rate mortgages or ARMs, have payment amounts that change from time to time depending on changes in the interest rate. ARMs are less predictable than fixed rate mortgages. Although monthly payments for a mortgage depend on the amount of the mortgage, the duration of the loan, and the interest rate, the interest is not the only cost of a mortgage. Most lending institutions require the buyer to pay one or more points at the time of closing. A point is a one-time charge that equals 1% of the loan amount. So if you were to pay 2 points, you'd have to pay 2% of the loan amount. 3 points equals 3%. Often, a buyer can pay fewer points in exchange for a higher interest rate or more points for a lower interest rate. A monthly mortgage payment is used to repay the principal plus interest. In addition, lending institutions can require monthly deposits into an escrow account. That's an account used by the lender to pay real estate taxes and insurance. These deposits increase the amount of the monthly payment. In the previous section, we used the loan payment formula for fixed installment loans to determine payments on car loans. Because a fixed rate mortgage is a fixed installment loan, we used the same formula to compute the monthly payment for a mortgage. When a mortgage loan is paid off through a series of regular payments, it is said to be amortized, which literally means killed off. A document showing how the payment each month is split between interest and principal is called a loan amortization schedule. Typically, for each payment, this document includes the payment number, the interest for the payment, the amount of payment applied to the principal, and the balance of the loan. So here's an example of an amortization schedule for a $130,000 mortgage, 9.5% interest rate. Here's your payment that's calculated using this formula for 15 years. Okay, so notice on your first payment, notice that should be a dollar sign. Okay, notice on your first payment, you paid $1,357, but over $1,000 of that goes to pay the interest of the loan. Only $328 comes off of your actual loan balance. So next month when you pay another $1,357, over $1,000 still going to interest. In other words, you pay the interest first. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 monthly payments. So 4 monthly payments of $1,357, and you've just barely taken off one payment's worth. 3, 6, 9, 12, right? $1,300 is all that has come off, but you've paid $1,300 4 times. Okay, here's 2.5 years, 30 months. After 2.5 years, still nearly $1,000 of your payment every month goes to interest. Here's 10.5 years. Finally, after 10.5 years, now remember it's only a 15-year note, and after 10.5 years, you're over 2/3 paid, and nearly $500 comes off of your payment to pay the interest. And finally, at the end, you've got nearly all your interest paid, so the vast majority of your payment portion does go to pay off the loan. Now, the bottom line for most financial advisors is that you spend no more than 28% of your gross monthly income for your mortgage payment, and spend no more than 36% of your gross monthly income for your total monthly debt. That includes mortgage payments, car payments, credit card bills, student loans, and medical debt. Also, try to stay away from 30 or 40-year mortgages. Ideally, you want a 15-year mortgage, no more than 20. All right, let's see if we can answer some questions. Okay, the price of a home is $220,000. The bank requires a 20% down payment and 3 points at the time of closing. The cost of the home is financed with a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage at 7%. Find the required down payment. Well, 20% down payment means I got to multiply, means I got to go back and choose a pen, and then I had to multiply 20%, so as a decimal that's 0.2 times the $220,000 cost of the home to get $44,000. Okay, that's the down payment required to purchase this home. So the amount of the mortgage, the amount you need to borrow, is the $220,000 minus the $44,000. Right? You don't have to borrow the whole $220,000. You have to put up some down payment. So you're going to borrow $176,000. How much must be paid for the 3 points at closing? 3 points is 3%. So basically, you have to pay 3% of that $176,000. Or, if we punch that on our calculator, we find out that that is $5,280. So, on your closing day, you not only have to have your $44,000 down, but you have to have this points. So you need $49,280 at closing. Points is just kind of a different way to get interest from you. Find the monthly payment. Now, excluding escrow taxes and insurance, remember that's going to raise your payment. And we use the same installment loan formula. So let's get it up. Same one we used in the previous section for the cars. Be aware of the negative sign. All right. P is what we're borrowing, not $220,000. Right? I just need to borrow $176,000. R, it says, is 7%. So we've got 0.07. And again, we make monthly payments, so this is compounded monthly. 1 minus 1 plus 0.07 over 12 to the negative 12 times 30 years. So let's see what our payment will be. 176,000. 0.07 divided by 12 divided by 1 minus 1 plus 0.07 divided by 12 to the negative 12 times 30. Close both parentheses. $1,170. And I've got 0.932. So it goes without saying we need to round to the nearest cent. So that's what your monthly payment would be. And find the total cost of interest over 30 years. All right, well, if I pay $1,170.93 every month for 30 years, then I have really paid $421,534.80 when I only borrowed $176,000. So if I take off the actual principal amount, everything over that must be interest that I paid. So I paid $245,534.80. I paid more in interest than the house cost. And just think, that's not what you paid for the house. You didn't pay $421,000 for our $220,000 house, because you additionally paid $44,000 down plus $52.80. So you paid, that's about $50,000. You paid about $470,000 for this $220,000 house. So good things to know. Let's look at another one. Let's see what this one has for us. The cost of a home is financed with a $120,000 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 4.5%. Find the monthly payment and the total interest for the loan. Well, we've got the same installment loan formula. So if I plug into that, and this time our mortgage is $120,000. It doesn't tell me anything about the cost of a home and how much down. It just tells me the mortgage is $120,000. So that's what I am borrowing. That is the P. Okay, R is 4.5%, so 0.05. Again, monthly payment, so N is 12 over 1 minus 1 plus 0.045 over 12 to the negative 12 times 30 again. And if we plug that in our calculator, we will see that our payment is, this time we have $120,000, 0.045. $608.02. Okay, $608.02 is our monthly payment. To find the total interest for the loan, again, I know what I've paid and I know what I borrowed, and the difference between those then must be interest. So $608.02 every month for 30 years is $218,887.20, but I only borrowed $120,000. So the rest of that must be interest. $98,887.20 in interest. Okay, now it asks us to prepare a loan amortization schedule for the first 3 months of the mortgage. All right, well, our loan amortization schedule needs to have a payment number. And we're just going to do it for 3 months, so we'll just do 1, 2, and 3, right? So 1, 2, and 3. All right. Then we need a column for the amount that goes towards interest, the amount of our payment that goes towards interest, the amount of our payment that goes towards principal, and the loan balance. All right, so the first month, we've already figured up our payment. So we know that we're paying $608.02. Okay, but I have borrowed $120,000. So they want their interest first. So they want 4.5% of that, but I've only had it for a month. So this is the annual interest rate, but I've only had it for a month. So if I plug this in, 120,000 times 0.045 divided by 12, I get $450. $450 of my $608 payment must go to interest. All right, well, then I can see how much that leaves to go to principal. All right, 608.02 minus 450 is what goes to principal. Or in other words, 158.02. So my loan balance, I've really only paid $158 towards my principal, so I still owe $120,000 minus 158.02. So I still owe $119,000 $119,841.98, even though I made a payment of over $600. It didn't even take off $200, barely $150, a little over $150. And I'm just going to do that for every month. Now, this is what I owe, right? So they want their interest on what I owe them. So $119,841 times 0.045, their interest, but only for 1 month. So I can plug that in. 119,841.98. I missed my 98 on there. Let me go back and add that 98. Sorry. So .98. Okay. So 119,841.98 times 0.045 divided by 12, so 449.41. 449.41 goes towards the interest on the loan. Okay, meaning this month what I paid towards principal is 608.02 minus 449.41, or 158.61. Ooh, I get to pay an extra 59 cents towards my principal. All right, so now my previous balance was $119,841.98, and I get to take off $158.61 to see my new balance. Of $119,683.37. So I've paid over $1,200, but it's only taken off about $300 from what I owe. All right, so the interest out of my next payment, because I still owe $119,683.37, and I owe a month of interest, so that is $448.81. So this month, the part that goes towards principal is what's left over after I make my interest payment of $448.81. Which is $159.21. So after making 3 payments, I've worked what I owe down to $119,683.37 minus 159.21 to $119,000. $119,524.16. I've made 3 payments of over $600, and I've knocked less than $500 off of my loan balance. And then you would just continue on to find the entire amortization schedule until you reached line or payment number 360. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know.